Okay, well, I have 9 o'clock. So welcome, class. Our first live this morning, and I appreciate you who are able to be here live. And if you can't, I understand. My nose is runny this morning. It's cold in my house. Today's class, we're going to focus on kind of reversing the things that can happen from being with so many things in front of us on the computer, so many online classes. And so we're going to do a little bit of posture opening, strengthening, because you need both. And props today probably don't really need any. Because this is a combined class, there's beginners, intermediate, advanced. I will be doing poses that you can kind of build on or just stay where I am. So for example, when I'm doing a plank, you can stay in the plank or you can add the little bits and spices that I throw in there. So just make sure you have space around you and listen to your body because I am not there in person and you have to kind of monitor what's best for you. A couple things that we'll be doing where you may be on your knees. So if you want a little extra padding near your mat to put under your knees, just have that handy. And we're going to begin by just kind of getting in the mindset of making this yoga and not just an exercise class where we are kind of going inside, being very still so we can be more aware and notice and be present with what's happening. So if you'd like to join me in an easy pose with one heel in, other foot in front, you can support the knees or even sit on a chair. And as you start to lengthen your spine to find some strength through your core, relax down through your shoulders. You can place your hands anywhere you'd like, and maybe even just soften your gaze or close your eyes. And just begin observing the sensations, the sounds around you, maybe the busyness in your mind. And gradually start to draw your attention away from those things. Let them just kind of stay aside for now. And then begin to bring your awareness to your breath. The breath is your easiest anchor way to get into being present and slowing things down. Just feel the air as it comes in through your nose. And feel how your body changes as you exhale and push the air out through your nose. Establishing a smooth, deep breath where you feel your belly expand, your chest expand, maybe even your shoulders lift. And then your exhalation, shoulders relax, chest relaxes, belly draws in. And if you'd like to set an intention for today's practice, it could be just simple as joy or grace. And to seal the intention that you may have set, you can bring your palms together at heart center. Lengthen the back of your neck as you draw your chin in and down. And then lifting your head, softly opening your eyes, and relaxing the hands down to the mat. We're going to start with a couple of warm-ups, just the neck and shoulders. So just allow the right ear to drop down near the right shoulder. You may enjoy taking the right hand at the side of the head to add a little extra, or maybe your left fingertips to encourage that left shoulder to stay down and back. Never pulling too hard, especially if you haven't done yet very much this morning. Body might be a little cold and stiff. And then release the hands if you were using them, head to neutral, and exhale, left shoulder to or left ear to left shoulder. Keep the left shoulder relaxed. You can use the left hand and the right hand to assist the stretch if you'd like. Staying smooth with your breath. Releasing the hands, head back to neutral. Draw the shoulders up near the ears and release them down and back. And then lift the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, take the hands behind your back. And if you can, interlace the fingers there. Try to straighten the elbows and then lift the pinkies up towards the sky, lifting your heart a bit, maybe even lifting the gaze slightly, but keeping some length in your low back, your belly drawn in to support you. Take one more inhale there. And exhale, hands back to heart center. We'll inhale, stretch the arms up to the sky. And as you exhale, twist your body to the right. Bring your left hand outside the right knee and your right hand behind you. Take an inhale to draw the shoulders down and back as you lengthen through your spine. And then exhale, gently twisting to the right, keeping both sit bones planted. As you inhale, you can release the hands, bring the arms overhead, coming back to center. And then we'll exhale to the other side. Right hand outside left knee, left hand behind you. As you inhale, lengthen, but relax the shoulders, open the chest. And exhale, gently twist, keeping the chin parallel to the earth. Still breathing. Inhale, you can release the hands, come back to center. And then place the hands on the knees just for a little seated cat-cow. On your inhale, you're going to bring your chest up, belly forward, head slightly up. And as you exhale, you're going to round the back to draw the chin down, spread between the shoulder blades, pushing towards the wall behind you. Inhale, reverse that. So you're lifting the heart, squeezing the shoulder blades close. And exhale, rounding, leaning back a bit. And then coming back to neutral, we'll make our way into hands and knees. And again, if you need extra padding under the knees, go ahead and grab that with an extra mat or a blanket folded up or towel. And from that hands and knees position, we're just going to move into a puppy dog pose to open up the chest a bit. So toes are tucked under, outer ankles lifted, and start to walk the hands forward. They can go a little bit wider than shoulder width if you start to feel tension in your shoulders. And you're just going to allow your chin and chest to start sinking toward the mat. Sometimes it's helpful to just inhale, take it away from the floor a little bit, and then exhale, see if the body will sink a little bit more. Careful to keep the shoulders as much as you can out of the ears and pressing through the fingertips to take some of that strain out of the back of your hands or the palmar part near your wrists. And then just hold that stretch for a couple of moments, still breathing, tailbone lifting high to the sky. Press through the fingertips as you bring your chest away and walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. And we're going to open up through the shoulder blades a little bit. So on an inhale, lift your right hand up to the sky. And as you exhale, take it behind your left wrist and see if you can bring that arm to the mat, ear to the mat. And you can even walk your left hand forward. As an added little stretch, we'll add the leg component in the next round of this. But for now, right here. Take the left hand back in, press up. As you reach up to the sky once more, and exhale back to the mat. Staying on that same side with an option to extend your right leg straight out from the hip. I'm going to show you with my left so you can kind of see. So I'm just kind of straight up from the hip, trying to press the outer blade of the foot into the mat. This will just add a little bit of an inner thigh stretch to what we just did. So if you want to, add that foot, and then the rest is the same. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, take it behind the left. Bringing the upper arm, shoulder, and ear to the mat, walking the left hand forward. And just sinking into the stretch for a moment. And then again, you can slide the left hand back in a bit, press through it as you bring the right arm up, and then the in hand go back in place. We'll do one round on the other side without the legs. So we'll inhale, left arm up. Exhale, take it behind the right wrist. Encouraging your shoulder and side of the head to the mat as you walk the right hand forward. And then right hand slides back, pressing through it. You'll inhale, reach the left hand to the sky and back to the mat. So this time it'll be, if you want to add it, the left leg out, straight out from the hip, pressing into the outer edge blade of that foot. The rest is the same. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, taking it behind the right. And then walking the right arm forward. And then slide the right hand back in as you press through it. You can bring the left arm back up and the hand and knee back in place. Moving from there into a little bit of plank work, we're going to walk the knees back so that you're in a modified plank. Notice, when your hands and knees, hips are high, and this hips are in line, so you're kind of like a straight diagonal from head to the creases of your knees. Press to the fingertips, draw the shoulders away from the ears, maybe softly in the elbows. Option of lifting the knees into full plank. And if so, make sure you're pressing back through your heels, squeezing the glute, gaze is at the floor. And just breathe there. Coming back to hands and knees for a moment and giving the wrists a break. You can take one at a time. And just bring the back of your hand onto the mat. And then do the same with the other hand. Great. Hands and knees, little core work here. Gonna bring the left knee in towards your chest. Exhale, extend it behind you, toes point to the ground. Hold it there for a moment, just making sure that you have the power and the length through the leg, through the crown of the head, pressing through the fingertips. And then we'll do a couple a little quicker. So as you exhale, knee is to chest. Inhale, extend behind. Exhale, draw the belly in. Inhale, stretch it back. One more time, exhale, draw the knee in. Inhale, extend the leg back. You can stay right there, or for more challenge, lift the right hand, holding it there. Or one more challenge, take the right hand behind you, bend the right knee to grab the left knee to grab the foot, and then lift the foot up, press into the hand. Gaze is still at the mat. Coming back to where we started, and then all hands and knees down. We'll repeat on the other side. So take an inhale and exhale, right knee to chest. Inhale, extend this first one, just kind of hold it and get that position, the steadiness, relaxing where you can, pressing where you need to. Next, exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, reach back. Exhale. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, try to initiate the movement with your core, with your abs. Inhale, reach back. One more time, exhale in. Inhale, reach back, and you can stay right there or extend the left arm forward. Stay there or reach the left arm around, bend the right knee to find that foot, and then press the foot into the hand into the foot, lifting up a bit towards the sky. And then release everything back where we started and hands down. Nice. Taking a moment to give those wrists a break again, we're just going to walk our hands back. If available, just sit down on the heels. If not, You can use a block or just stay in that hands and knees. But sitting on our heels allows us to do both wrists at the same time. So back so the hands are on the mat. And you're just give a little bit of a stretch to those wrists. Good. You can circle them out if you're in hands and knees. You can do one at a time. Returning to hands and knees, tuck the toes under, lift the knees a bit, and then start to shift your hips up and back into a modified downward facing dog. So look back, your feet should be hip width apart, not touching, not as wide as your mat. And initially, while we have the knees bent, is so we can focus on other things, pressing through the fingertips, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the neck, and lengthening the spine. Those are the most important parts. If you can keep your spine right where it is, and the knees will go straighter without compromising that position of the spine, you can start to do that. Maybe heels reach the floor, maybe they don't. And take a few breaths here in your downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Remember, there are videos of poses that breaks it down a little bit more detailed than what we do in our regular class here. So check those out. Exhale all of your out, and on your inhale, come forward into plank or modified plank. And just shift your chest up and forward. Keep the wrists under the shoulders, lifting your gaze slightly, drawing the shoulder blades closer. For a modified upward facing dog option of lifting the knees, toes are still tucked under, and breathe. From wherever you are, we're gonna make our way one more time back to downward dog. So try to initiate with the core, draw the belly in and up towards the spine, and then lift the hips up and back. Totally fine to bend your knees. And then start to look between your hands, bending the knees as you walk the feet forward, keeping them hip width apart. And then with those knees softly bent, just allow yourself to hang forward. Maybe hold the opposite elbow. And enjoy the release of energy down towards your head. Wiggle your toes, giving the hands a break. Maybe circle out the wrists. Good. From your forward bend, keep the toes relaxed. Knees and feet are going to stay hip width apart as you start to drop the hips a bit. Almost like you're trying to find a chair back there. So we're going into chair pose. And bring your hands either at your heart, or if you feel like you're a little unbalanced, you can bring the arms out in front like a counterbalance. But check out where your knees are. Make sure they're not past the toes. Your belly is drawn in, lengthening the back, so you don't feel a lot of strain in your low back. Your abs are also working. So even this is just a great core strengthener, even though I'm sure you feel it in your legs as well. Keep the weight back. And then press through your heels, squeeze your glutes, and just come on up to standing. Release the arms down by your side into Tadasana mountain pose. Reconnect with your intention and your breath. Inhale, reach both arms up to the sky. I'm going to turn towards you for a moment. You don't need to turn. And while they are lengthening and shoulders are down, exhale to the right. A lot of power and energy reaching through the arms so that you're not just dumping. So stretching, lengthening, grounding through the feet. Stretching left side, working the right obliques to hold the position. Don't hold your breath, keep breathing. Inhale, come back to center, realign, re-lengthen, shoulders down. Exhale, reach left. Try to keep the upper arms back by your ears. You can maybe even slightly turn the chest towards the sky, but just a teeny tiny bit. Powerful reach, relax toes. Inhale to center. As you exhale, take the hands around behind your back and interlace the other way than you did at the beginning of the class. Base of the palms together for the first moment as you straighten the elbows, draw the shoulders down and back. Lengthen the low back so you're not arching like that, more like that. And see if you can lift the arms away. Base of the palms can open up. Slight lifting of the gaze and heart if you'd like. And as you exhale, release the hands, sweep them up by your ears as you drop the hips back and down into that chair pose, Utkatasana. If you prefer, because of shoulder and neck issues, you could just keep the hands at heart center. Either one is fine. Inhale here. Staying in chair pose, exhale, take the hands behind you, pinkies to the sky, palms reaching towards each other. Inhale, swing them up. Exhale, reach them back. Inhale, swing them up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to allow ourselves into a forward fold. So start to fold it forward. Relax the head. Knees can stay softly bent. Once more, bend into the knees, dropping into that chair pose. Hands at heart center. Make sure knees and feet are same distance apart. And then squeeze your glutes as you lift up the standing. Relaxing the arms down. Nice. Balance poses, although they challenge your balance and work your nervous system really well, especially through the feet and ankles, also with some core work. So if you want to make sure a wall is in front of you or beside you for a little extra support, you can use that and take this to wherever you want. We'll begin balancing on the left foot, left leg. So keep the left foot where it is and take the right toes back. Feel strong and long through that right leg as you relax the toes of your left foot and bring the arms out to the side. Make sure the left knee is soft, it's not locked, pressing into the back of the knee joint. That'll actually help with your balance and make sure the muscles are doing the work. If you'd like to take it further, start to tip yourself forward. You're just bending at the left hip crease until your right leg and torso is close to parallel to the earth. You can do other things with your arm if you want them behind you or in front for more shoulder work and upper back work. And you're breathing, drawing the belly in, powerful core work. Don't worry if the toes tap down, you'll just bring them back up when you're ready. And then every one foot comes down next to the left. Arms overhead for a nice stretch. And exhale, hands to heart. And Tadasana. Same pose, other side. So begin to spread the toes of your right foot. Kind of keep your eyes, they're going to kind of follow a line down to the floor as we move through the pose. Left leg behind you, strong and long. Hands can be at the waist or out to the side or in front. When you're ready, begin to increase the weight bearing through the right foot, knee is soft, and arms wherever you'd like them. Careful that you're not tipping, which makes me lose my balance, but you're trying to keep your hips square with the floor. You can experiment with toes to the ground or pointing back through the toes. And if you do have arms in front, see if you can bring the biceps in line with your ears. Still breathing. And then as you inhale, bring the foot back to the mat. Arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. And then Tadasana. Take a moment here, eyes open or closed, reconnecting with your breath and your intention. Eyes open, one more standing balance pose. A little bit also of a stretch for the front body, moving towards dancer's pose. Again, just take this to where you want to take it. So once more, we'll start with our left foot with the toes relaxed. Gaze somewhere in front of you, a non-moving spot. Let's just start by lifting the right thigh till it's parallel to the floor. Maybe this is where you stay the whole time. It's totally fine. You're working core, you're working balance, nervous system. If you want to go to the next phase, you can bring the leg back so it's in line with your left leg and reach back with your right foot to grab the top of that foot. And maybe you stay here for a stretch, lining up the thighs, lengthening the low back, heel toward the glutes. Feel free to hold on. Or you can extend the left arm in front, push the foot into the hand, and start to tip yourself forward. Really pushing that foot into the hand, lengthening through the left fingertips. And then inhale. Well, I'll come back to our start where some people may be. And exhale, right foot next to left. Take a moment to notice the difference between the two sides. Energy and attention into the right foot. Start to lift the left heel. And if you want to take it to the next step, just let that thigh float up. Keeping the hips level, you can stay here or bring that left thigh next to the right, bending the knee even more to grab the top of that foot. You could also grab it with a strap. And if you want to stay with the stretch, again, thighs are lined up, low back is lengthening, tailbone toward the earth, heel comes in. To move it into a little bit more heat, can bring the right arm up by the ear, shoulder stays down. Push the left foot into the left hand, elbow is straight. And you start to bring yourself a bit forward. And to prevent that left knee from flaring out to the left, but in line. And then slowly making your way back to where we started and releasing that foot to the mat. Awesome, thank you, great job. We're gonna make our way back towards the earth. So to get there, we'll do a little half vinyasa, a little half of a sun salutation flow. Inhale, reach the arms up as you lengthen, relaxing the toes. Exhale, hinge from the hips, feel free to bend the knees, keeping that perfectly strong spine until you're all the way forward. On an inhale, bring yourself into a halfway lift. So lift the chest away from the floor. Maybe take the hands at your hips for a moment and really draw the shoulders back. Feel the strength of your core. And then as you exhale, bend the knees enough to place the hands flat on the mat and step back 1 foot at a time to plank or modified plank. Holding there for a few moments, pressing back the heels, strong glutes, strong thighs, shoulders over wrists. Pressing into your fingerprints to take some stress out of your wrists. I'm gonna bring the knees down. I'm gonna move towards a pretty extreme pec stretch. So just take it to where it works for you. I'm gonna draw myself back just a little bit. So to do that, you can watch me first if you want. You're gonna come all the way down to the mat. And I'll do my left side. I think that'll be easier for you to see. So my left arm's gonna stretch straight out to the side. And my right hand's gonna help leverage me and push me into the position. I'll turn my left ear to the mat and start to roll over to my left side. And then to add an additional piece to it, I can take my foot on the floor. All right, so you're on your mat. Left arm stretched straight out from the shoulder. Right hand next to your chest on the mat. And start to push into the right hand as you kind of slide your left arm out. So that you're kind of landing in front of your shoulder, more on your chest, your pec, onto the side. And if you want to, you can take that right foot to the mat, or actually it's probably going to be outside the mat, but on the floor to really feel a nice stretch there. And you can relax your head down, but it's actually better to keep it in line with the rest of your spine. And then we'll come back to center. I'm going to do the same thing other side. So right arm stretches straight out from the shoulder, palm down. Left hand on the mat, start to roll, lifting the left side of your body towards the sky. If you want a little bit more of a stretch, bend the left knee. Place that foot on the floor behind your right leg. And just breathe into that really nice place. Again, try not to be on your shoulder. You should feel it. You should be more on kind of the upper chest here, the pecs. Great. One more full breath here. And then exhale, come back to center. We're going to take the arms back by our sides, palms facing the legs. And begin to reach the fingertips up to the sky, palms closer to each other. And see if you can roll the chest up. It doesn't have to be high, but don't lead with your gaze. You should have length in the back of your neck. Your gaze is on the floor, maybe just beyond your mat. And you're using those powerful upper back muscles to hold you here as you breathe. Take one more inhale and exhale. Come down just briefly. If you need the rest, take it. Otherwise, roll right back up, inhaling and then holding as you breathe. Maybe even interlace the fingers to get a little more length and stretch. Again, lengthen the back of your neck. One more inhale there. Gonna exhale down and place either ear on the mat. Just give yourself a rest for a moment. Okay, bring the chin back towards the mat. Same thing, palms face the legs. Draw the shoulders away from the mat. Lift the pinkies up, palms towards each other, rolling the chest up. If you need a little bit of support with your hands, certainly feel free to do that. But as much as you can, use the back muscles. Option this time of lifting one or both legs, keeping the big toes touching or pretty darn close. Knees as straight as you can. Exhale if you need to, rest completely, otherwise just touch down. And inhale one more time back up. Breathing, reaching, holding. And this time as you exhale, turn your head the other way and completely relax and release everything. As you inhale, bring your forearms to the mat. And fold your right arm in a little bit and maybe put it out in front of you a bit. Left arm's gonna reach back. And as you bend the left knee, see if you can find the top of that foot. If you need to, you can use a strap. I said you didn't need many props, didn't I? But maybe you do. And see if you can keep that thigh not way out to the side, but in line with your hip and body. And then push the foot into the hand, elbow is straight, and see if you can lift the thigh off the mat. If you can't, that's okay. You can also just keep it as a stretch. Thigh down, heel coming in towards the glute. So either one. We're going to finish with a little bit of a stretch anyway, FYI. So if you're not already there, thighs down, and now bring the heel in. Elbow up towards the sky. Maybe slide your hand to your toes and stretch the toes. And then completely release that side. We'll just switch. So left arm, forearm down. Right arm reaches back as you bend the right knee and reach for the top of that foot. And start with a stretch and feel free to stay there or push the foot into the hand, elbow straightens. And then lift the thigh off the mat, pushing the foot into the hand, kind of like we did in dancer's pose. Squeeze the glute. Stay with your breath. And then thigh down, let's end with a stretch, heel towards glute. And release that leg. So final option is you can go back and forth just like we did for a few breaths each side. Or if you want to move into full expression of this pose, you're going to reach back for both feet in a moment and move into bow pose. So if you want to move to that, reach both hands back, bend the knees and take top of your foot one hand at a time. Keep the thighs in line with your hips. Push the feet into the hands and begin to lift the thighs, the chest off the mat. Keep pushing the toes toward the sky. Careful with the neck and breathe. Come down and rest if you need it, or adding a little more chest stretch here, keeping that tension, pressing feet into hands. You can roll over, landing in front of your right shoulder, not on your shoulder. So everything looks the same, you're just kind of on your side. And then if you did that to one side, you can roll back to center, check your tension, and roll to the other. Come back to center for one more press. And then everyone exhale, release. Slowly making our way into child's pose. Take the hands under the shoulders. Start to push yourself up. Maybe scoot the knees in. And with them hip width apart or a little bit wider, bring the big toes together and slowly start to settle down. If your knees don't like to bend this far, you can use blankets or just sit on some blankets instead of your feet, or you're kind of landing between your feet. To fully rest those shoulders and wrists, I'm going to suggest you go into a traditional child's pose with the arms by your legs, palms to the sky, and then tuck your chin so that it's not your forehead, but it's going to be more of the crown of your head on the mat. And just breathe into the back body, all those muscles of your back, around the spine. Start to slow your breath down. Maybe circle out your wrist one more time, wiggling the fingers. Softening your jaw. You don't have to use your hands to roll up from here, but you may place the hands near your shoulders on the mat. And start to press yourself up to a seated position. And then shift your hips over to one side. Bring your legs around. Coming back to easy pose. Shavasana, deep relaxation, is an important part of the class. But I will often end the class either with a short one, allowing you to then kind of turn me off and stay as long as you like, or follow this with one of the guided meditations. I have a couple of Shavasanas there with frogs and with candlelight. So feel free to do that, but for now, let's just kind of recognize what we've done and offer some gratitude for the time we've taken for this healing and for this class. So close your eyes. Back to your breath. Back to your intention. And let that carry you through the rest of your day. You can open your eyes, and if you'd like to, hands together at heart center. Thank you so much for your time.